Hi, my dear grade 7 students. My name is Marisa V. Agbanlog. I am your teacher in mathematics. Welcome to our today's lesson. Verbal phrases and mathematical phrases with the objective translates English phrases to mathematical phrases and English sentences to mathematical sentences and vice versa. Just be ready with your notebook and pen for some important points to be written and answered. Okay, are you ready now? But before we start with our new lesson, let us first do this activity. As I flash the phrase on the screen, I would like you to draw the symbol in your notebook or paper. Okay, let's begin. Number 1, happy. Number 2, angry. Number 3, sad. Number 4, cry. Number 5, love. Are you done? Now, let us review your knowledge on the 4 fundamental operations in mathematics. Here is the question. Which of the following is r equal to 5? Letter A, 2 plus 3. Letter B, 6 minus 1. Letter C, 10 divided by 2. Letter D, 1 times 5. Letter E, all of these. I will give you 10 seconds to answer and the time starts now. Okay, time is up. If your answer is all of these, then you got it right. Very good. What have you noticed on your answers to the questions? What can you say about it? Yes, we can make as many mathematical expressions that will come up with the same answer. In our day-to-day activities, we always go out in our homes to buy something for our needs. And sometimes, we also travel far when our family plan to go out for an outing and visiting relatives. Along the streets or highways and establishments, we saw some signs or symbols which we obey because we need to, and they are very important to us. I would like you to give and write on your notebook the meaning of the following signs or symbols. Okay, let us check your answers. Number 1, the answer is no U-turn. Number 2, no parking. Number 3, no smoking. And number 4, comfort room. Did you get the correct answers? That's great. Why do you think it is necessary to put these signs on the side of the streets or highways and establishments? Yes, for us to be guided and to avoid accidents. I think you are now ready with our new lesson. So, as to your first activity, I would like you to copy on your notebook the table that you see on the screen and choose the expressions and write it under the respective symbol. I will give you 5 minutes to answer and the time starts now.
time is up. Let us answer the following questions. Number 1. What are the words or expressions that indicates addition? Number 2. What are the words or expressions that indicates subtraction? Number 3. What are the words or expressions that indicates multiplication? Number 4. What are the words or expressions that indicates division? And number 5. What are the words or expressions that indicates inequalities? Okay, for number 1 question, the expressions are plus, more than, increased by, the sum of, and added to. For number 2, the answers or the expressions are minus, diminished by, decreased by, subtracted from, the difference of, and less than. For number 3 question, the expressions are times, of, multiplied by, and the product of. For number 4 question, the expressions are ratio of, divided by, and the quotient of. For number 5 question, the expressions are is less than, is greater than, is at most, is less than or equal to, is at least, is greater than or equal to, and is not equal to. Now, let us proceed to the second activity. In here, you are to match the verbal phrase in column 1 to the mathematical phrase in column 2. Each number corresponds to a letter which reveal a quotation if answered correctly. A letter may be used more than once. I will give you 5 minutes to answer and the time starts now.
up. So, what is the quotation? If your answer is all men are equal, then you got the correct answer. Very good. For your third activity, you are going to match each verbal sentence in column A to each mathematical sentence in column B. Observe and compare the items in each column. I will give you 3 minutes to answer. Okay? You may start now.
Check your answers. Number 1, A. Number 2, B. Number 3, E. Number 4, C. Number 5, D. Did you get the correct answers? Congratulations! Now, let us answer the following questions. Number 1. What do you observe are the common verbal translations of the equal sign? Number 2. What are the other translations for the equal sign? And number 3. Why did they were considered as sentences? Okay, for number 1, the answers are S and is equal to. For number 2 are yields and result in. And number 3, they were considered as sentence because it contains an equal sign or it gives the relationship between two mathematical expressions.
Wow, you are done answering the 3 activities. That's very good. And the 3 activities that you've answered, how did you come up with your answers? What are your difficulties in writing verbal phrases into mathematical expressions? In how many ways you can translate mathematical expressions? And what are the expressions that indicate addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division? Always remember this, that you can translate mathematical expressions in many ways, and you should know the English phrase keywords that were used in order to come up with the correct translation. You should also know that the expressions plus, more than, increased by, the sum of, added to are for addition, and the expression minus, diminished by, decreased by, subtracted from, the difference of, and less than are for subtraction. The expressions times, of, multiplied by, and the product of are for multiplication, and the ratio of, divided by, of, the quotient of are for division. To fully understand our lesson, I have here another 4 questions for you to answer in 3 minutes. Number 1. What is the difference between verbal praise and mathematical praise? Number 2. What is the difference between mathematical praise and mathematical sentence? Number 3. What must be considered in translating verbal praises to mathematical praises? And number 4. Why is it important to be able to write verbal expression as algebraic expressions and sentences as equations and vice versa? You may start now. Okay, let us check your answers. For number 1 question, the answer is verbal praise is a mathematical statement that is expressed in words.
while mathematical phrase is also known as mathematical expression. It's one or a group of math symbols representing a number or quantity. For number 2, mathematical expression is one or a group of mathematical symbols representing a number or quantity, while mathematical sentence gives the relationship between two mathematical expressions. Symbols of relationships are used to combine mathematical expressions in a mathematical sentence. For number 3, you must consider the English phrases, keywords, like the operation symbols in translating verbal sentences to mathematical sentences. And for the last question, the answer is, it is important because once you learn the rules for working with algebra expressions, it is far easier to work with them than with verbal expressions. To summarize on what you have studied, let us answer the question, how do you translate verbal phrases into mathematical phrases and verbal sentences into mathematical sentences and vice versa? The first step in correctly translating verbal phrases into algebraic expressions is to understand the words that indicate mathematical operations. Remember that subtraction and division are not commutative, so we need to be careful about the order of the constants and variables when translating expressions involving these operations. In algebra, the multiplication symbol x is rarely used because it can be confused with the variable x. So to express multiplication, we may use any of the following notations. 1. Raise that. 2. Parentheses. 3. Write the constants and variables side by side. Among the three ways to indicate multiplication, the preferred form is writing the constant and variable side by side. When indicating the product of a constant and a variable, we always write the constant first. Parentheses are used to indicate the multiplication of two constants because the raised dot can be confused with the decimal point. The division symbol is not commonly used in algebra. Instead, the fraction bar is used to indicate division. Okay, I think you are now ready to apply what you have learned on the following exercises. I would like you to answer these in 5 minutes and the time starts now. Let us check your work. For number 1 question, the answer is 2 parenthesis x plus y. Number 2, 3 parenthesis x minus y. Number 3, you may have any of the following answers. Twice the number subtracted from 5, or 5 minus 2a, or 5 less than twice the number, or you may have 5 diminished by twice the number, or the difference of 5 and 2a. For number 4 question, you may have the following answers. Thrice a number plus 4, or 3 times x plus 4 divided by 5, or 3x added by 4 divided by 5. For letter C, number 1, you may have traffic signs and symbols, or representing age for a given year, or number of loaf bread a baker to produce in a particular day. Letter C, number 2, it is applicable in science, especially when you are studying symbols of elements and compounds. For MAPI, when you are studying dance steps and musical notes. Okay, did you get the correct answers? Very good. For your assessment, I would like you to get 1/4 sheet of paper for your answers. You are going to submit this to me tomorrow. In part A, you are going to match the verbal phrase in column A to the mathematical expression in column B. Write the letter of the correct answer. For B, you will translate each algebraic expressions into verbal phrase. This is good for 5 minutes, and you may start now. Are you done? Copy your assignment. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the session, and God bless you.